Oh my goodness, it is Friday again. Did y'all enjoy the show last week? I sure enjoyed telling y'all. If y'all missed the show last week, oh my goodness, you sure missed a good show, but it ain't too late. I will send you a copy if you interested. Oh, let's get into it. Let's get into it. How y'all doing out there? I want to get to know you as you get to know me. So, I would love if you introduce yourself to me. Like, drop me a comment, you hit me up in my DM. Okay, so I want to tell you that I am not a professional storyteller, but I am a writer. And so I might stumble through my words or whatever because I'm just a person sharing my story. So I'm not a professional writer. We're just starting off, and I want to get to know you and you get to know me. So yeah. So, if for y'all who don't know me, I am Lindora. Y'all like the outfit? I am the host of the Tea on Me with Lindora. So y'all go grab a cup of tea as I spill the tea on me. Oh boy, I got a story for y'all today. Okay, so I was 19 when I met this man. I was working at a grocery store, and the man came into the store, and he was looking for a bottle of wine, and we didn't have the wine that he was looking for in stock. I told him leave his information with me, and I would get in contact with him when the stock came in. So he left his information with me, and he told me he liked my personality, and he just said, "Wow, he just told me I was a friendly person," and so he gave me his information, and he flirted with me a bit, but I was in a relationship at the time, so I wasn't interested. But boy, I'm gonna tell you, he was a fly. He was a little bit older than me, but he was a fly. He came in with his tailor-made suit, and he was smelling all cologne and stuff. He smelled really nice. Like he had a nice aura about himself. I noticed him. Just put it that way. But like I said, I was in a relationship, and I wasn't flirting with him. So, um, I put his card in the a folder or something. I put his card, and when the inventory came in, I just so happened to find his card, and I called him. I called him, and he appreciated so much. He gave me a $50 bill. So, and I was like, thank you or whatever. That was really, you didn't have to do that. I really didn't. I wasn't expecting him to give me no money for me just calling him, telling him the stock came in that he was looking for. He told me again that he liked my personality, and he said, he asked me, have I ever thought about being a bartender? And I hadn't never thought about being a bartender. Uh, he asked me to come bartend for a party he was having. Uh, yeah, I bartended, and boy, I made a lot of money that like bartending. People was leaving me, giving me tips, and it was nice. It was, his friends was very nice. It was something I never thought of, and it was fun. I liked it. From there, he asked me to work for a friend of his. He said his friend just opened up a bar, and she needed help. And he said that I had a friendly face, and he would, he said I would bring in business with, I had a friendly personality and I would bring in business. So I started working for her, and yeah, I really didn't like her. Her name was Emily, and I didn't like her because she was shisty. Like I found out a lot of stuff about her that I just didn't agree with, but I'm the type of person that I never say anything. Like, even though I know something, that doesn't mean I have to say anything about it. But I found out some stuff about her and I just didn't like it. And one day she was in the back and I was calling her and she didn't answer. So I went to the back and I caught her pouring water into the liquor bottles. And ever since then, I knew that she was pouring liquor. I mean, she was pouring, the water was liquored down. She was pouring water inside the liquor. So if you ever go to a bar and you had a few shots and you just not feeling it like how you would usually feel it, the drink is watered down. Because yeah, some bartenders is shisty like that. I know Emily was like that, and I never said anything. But then, since I did know that, I would give the customer an extra shot. Like, they would think I'm hooking it up, but I would be, I would know that the water is liquored down, and they would leave me a tip and whatever. Oh my God, I was a bartender and a coach. And I listened to people's life stories. Oh my goodness. As a bartender, people come in and they had a bad day, or they got into it with their boyfriend or their girlfriend or wife. Bartenders kind of hear it all. So I heard all type of stories as a bartender. And so oh boy, so let me fast forward a bit because I want to make sure that you have to read the book to get to the whole story, because I can only tell you so much from this. But if you're interested in reading the book, it's Through the Eyes of Lindora. So, and you can read it for free actually. It's at throughtheeyesoflindora.com. So, okay. So, fast forward a few years, somebody came into the bar, a young lady, and I felt off about the girl. The girl came in, and I don't know, something didn't feel right with her, but Emily was so thirsty. Usually, when I was there, I wouldn't open the door until I was done setting up and counting inventory, everything. But Emily was so thirsty, she let this lady in at, while we was still counting inventory, and Emily told me to go and hold on, y'all. Let me tell cause I don't wanna Alexa, cut the alarm off. Sorry, y'all. I had to tell Alexa. Y'all know how it is. So Emily let the lady in, and I told Emily told me to make a drink for the lady. She took her order and she told me to make it, and so I just made the drink and took it to her. And then the lady ordered another drink, and I just made it for her. Okay, okay, so we needed some more inventory, so Emily went to the store to pick up some more supplies for the bar. And after Emily left, and about 30 minutes later, the police came in, and they said we had committed a violation. It was, I forgot, some code. I can't even think of the code it was, but whatever, we had violated something. And the girl was underage that we sold to, because she really looked old, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, I never would have suspect that she was young at all, because she didn't look like she was underage. She looked, I'll tell you, I kid you not, the girl looked like she was at least 30. I'm telling you, I don't know how these 15-year-olds looking like they 30, but they say the girl was 15. But I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding. The girl really, I wouldn't have thought she was 15. She really looked old for her age. Um, so Emily got 2 tickets, and me and Emily was getting into it. She was telling me that I had to pay the ticket and it was my fault, and I'm like, well, Emily, how is this my fault? You took our order, the first order you took, and you didn't even. And she was like, well, you were supposed to card her and ask her for ID. I'm like, well, you never. Emily had never mentioned anything about a card to me. She's never told me a card. Nobody, like, none of that. So I'm like, well, my psychic powers didn't tell me to card the lady. You know what I? Because you've never told me that. So I'm telling her, well, and so D'Artagnan came and handled the situation like the gentleman that he is. He came in and he was like, asked me what happened. And I told him exactly what happened. And he told me, he was like, well, you my people. And I'ma take care of it for you. So don't worry about it. He gave me $100 and he told me, well, you can't do nothing around here today because they was closed. So I'm guessing D'Artagnan paid for the tickets or whatever, and then so I went home or whatever, and then let's see, a few excuse me, a few weeks later, I came in and D'Artagnan was already there, and I him and Emily was arguing or whatever. They was getting into it, and then D'Artagnan came and said, he told me, he was like, well, you quit. He told me, he was like, come on, baby, you quit. And, and she started getting mad at me. Emily started, cussing me out and stuff. And I'm like, well, I ain't had nothing to do with nothing. But Emily started cussing me out. And so you know how I'm human. So I ain't about to keep letting you talk crazy to me. I was like, yeah, I'm tired of working here. I'm tired of pouring this watered down liquor. And she was like, well, leave then. I'm like, yeah, because Emily, I got so much stuff on you, girl. I will bury you in jail with all the stuff that I had on her. So she ain't want me to get to talking because I have I had a lot to say. So, but yeah. So anyway, I quit that night. D'Artagnan, and he asked me. He was like, well, how much is she paying you? And she was only paying me $75 a night, and she was making maybe 1,000 or probably more, a night. She was making, pretty decent money, and she only was giving me $70, and I was bringing, people came in because I was a friendly face, and they had good conversation. It was they liked coming in, talking to me. A lot of people would come in and, have a drink and talk with me for a while. And so, yeah, I kind of had, social skills. I was able to talk to people in a friendly face. And, uh, oh my goodness. So when I left, I guess business wasn't going so great for Emily. I don't really know what happened at that because, D'Artagnan told me a little bit about them, but, I didn't. Okay, so he gave me, so D'Artagnan had another, he had another place that he was half owner or something. He wasn't the full owner. Like he had partnered with some people and they bought some a club. It was a club and it was a restaurant and it was a bar and it had a gambling club in there too, like where people could come and do they it was like a casino type of bar. It was fun where people come in there and play the slots and they play blackjack and all type of the casino games. And let me see. So yeah, I think I need to let me see. But no, we're not gonna. I am so sorry, y'all. Let me go ahead and let me keep on going. I told y'all I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional storyteller, but I am excited to tell my stories. So I keep on going. So D'Artagnan hired me at the club that he was part owner, and we hit it off. Like we was like good friends for a while. So like I said, you have to read the book because I'm gonna leave a lot out because it's a lot that happened in between, but I'm gonna get to the part that I wanted to share tonight. So D'Artagnan, D'Artagnan found I don't know, he found me interesting and whatever, but he tried his best not to mess around with me. He wanted to keep our relationship, um, business. He wanted to keep it business. So one day he asked me. Okay. I'm okay. I do want to tell you this part. When he said okay, before he took me to the new job, he got me got in a car. I got in his truck, and asked me. He was like, you knew she was pouring liquor. I mean, she was pouring water in the liquor. And I said, yeah. He said, no, he said he asked me, she was really pouring water in the liquor. And I said, yeah. And that's why she ain't say nothing, because she knew that she was caught off guard because she didn't think that I knew what she was doing. Did you look, you seen her face? She was shocked. And he was like, well, why you ain't never tell me? I'm like, well, it wasn't my place to say nothing. I was like, I mind my business. And he said, oh, wow, I like the way you think. And he asked me, he said, do you know who I am? And I said, well, you told me your name was D'Artagnan. Are you going to tell me that that's not your name? And he laughed and he was like, oh, I like you. And he said, I want to know more about you. And he was like, take me to your family house. And we went to hang out at my mother's house. And when I went to my mother's house, oh my God, it was perfect. She had just got done cooking dinner, and she had just got done cooking, and she came to the door with her apron on, and she answered the door, and I said, Mom, this my boss, and he went to shake her hand, and she gave him a hug, and she said, we hug around here, and she just, I don't know, she said she took him around the house to see the house, and I don't know, she just took him into, because my mother is very proud of her house, okay? Because she got a very beautiful house. She worked hard for it, and her house is lovely. And she was showing him around her house, and he loved it. You know what I'm saying? He said he was looking too. He looked all, because he sure told me. He said, He said the ceiling fans was clean. He said even the closets was clean because I don't know, she must have shown him a closet. I don't know, whatever. But my mother do keep her closets clean. Like I ain't never seen nobody who, yeah, she a neat freak for real. Like, like even I, oh my God, like you look at her closet, it's like totally everything is in order. Like nothing is out of order in her house. Like her house, everything is nicely put. I mean, nicely, And so we ate dinner because she cooked dinner, and we ate dinner with her. And he was telling her, he said, "I'm gonna take care of your daughter." And before we left, he gave her some money. I think it was like $300 or whatever. He had handed her some money and said, it was lovely dropping in on you unexpectedly. He was impressed. From his own words, he was really impressed. And he told me when we got to the car, he was like, man, it almost seemed like you set this up. He's like, but I know that you didn't, because you didn't call anybody. So it was like, dang, you too good to be true. So and so because it just really worked out like that. I'm like, wow, yeah. And so he took me on to the new job. And what it was called Club Delactation. And oh my God, this club was where the ballers went. Like this, I'm telling you, this was the ballers club. Like, oh, it was exclusive. Like, man, that club was so big, and it was connected to the hotel. And I'm telling you, it was nice. Like oh my God, I was blown away because Emily little club. I'm like, dang, why you ain't bring me here at first? You had me there, Emily little old club. It was a bar, but she called it Emily's Club or whatever. But it was a little bar. But I'm like, damn, why you ain't bring me here at first? I guess he had to test me out and see, how would I work at Emily. And he's saying I'm doing good, so he brought me in at this club. And we didn't mess around at first. Us getting to that. So like at first, for the first year or so, we didn't mess around. And okay, so D'Artagnan, this is what he did. One day I came in to work and I found it was like some money sitting out, $5,000. I'm like, and I put it in the envelope. I put the money. I'm like, man, who left this money out? And I was like, and I put the money in the envelope, and I put it in my purse. And I started cleaning up and began to work. And in about 30, 45 minutes later, I seen D'Artagnan, and he was speaking to me, and I handed him I said, hold on a minute. And I went in my purse and I handed him the envelope. I'm like, somebody just left all this money sitting out. And he smiled at me, and he said, damn, I love you, girl. Like, and I'm thinking he was happy because I found the money, and he probably thought he lost it or whatever. But come to find out, he was watching me on camera the whole time. And I don't know, I'm an honest person. Like, taking the money never crossed my mind. I never thought of taking the money. So hold on, y'all. I gotta put my phone on the charger because it's about to die. I know I should have been prepared, but yeah. So oh, that kind of interrupted me. What I was saying. So yeah, he was watching me put the money. He was watching me, and he seen me put the money in my purse. So I guess he wanted to see, was I gonna take the money or whatever. So basically, the money was a setup to see what type of person I was. And like I said, no, taking the money never crossed my mind. I never thought of doing such a thing. I don't know, I was raised right.